Today we're going to look at graphing systems of equations, looking at two different forms. So both of these forms are linear equations, but the first one we're going to look at is slope-intercept form, and the second one we're going to look at is standard form. So looking at slope-intercept form, we look at these two equations, y equals negative x plus 1 and y equals negative 5x minus 3. Looking at both of these, we immediately see they're in y equals mx plus b form. And from y equals mx plus b, we can identify the slope as well as the y-intercept. Now the y-intercept is where the graph goes through the y-axis, and the slope is its rise over run, its change. It tells you how the line is changing as it goes through. So as we look at negative x plus 1, negative means our slope would be negative 1, and that plus 1 means our y-intercept is at 1. So we're going to put a y-intercept at 1. And then that slope of negative 1 tells us to go down 1 to the right 1. Down 1 to the right 1. Down 1 to the right 1. And we just continue this in order to make our line. Now since it's negative 1, we also could have gone up 1 to the left 1. Just as long as one of our moves is negative, that'll make our line negative. Okay, so we have a line here that we can graph. And that makes the first line of our system. Now remember, a system is where two lines intersect. So we have to make our second line. Our second line, looking at y equals negative 5x minus 3, I want you to take a minute and try to figure out what the y-intercept of this one is. Okay, what would the slope be? All right, so your y-intercept would be this last one right here, negative 3. And your slope would be this right here, that negative 5. So we would use that to start at negative 3 on our y-axis. So on our y-axis, I'm going to go down 3. 1, 2, 3. And I have a slope of negative 5. So that's like negative 5 over 1. Because negative 5 divided by 1 would give you negative 5. So looking at this, I can't go down 5 because I would go off the graph. So I'm going to look at this and go up 5 and to the left 1. So up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the left 1. All right, I've got 2 points. I can graph a line in between them now. And graphing a line in between those 2 points, I see they intersect at negative 1, 2. So negative 1, 2 would be a solution to my system of linear equations here. This means that if I plugged negative 1 in for x, I would get out 2 for my y value in both of these equations. All right, let's try this with standard form. So in standard form, it looks like ax plus by equals c. Well, looking at this, we can identify our x and y intercepts. So to find your x-intercept happens on the x-axis. No matter where you are on the x-axis, your y is 0. So we can put y as 0. Anything times 0 will cancel out. It'll just be 0. So for your x-axis, you can look at ax equals c and solve for x, or c divided by a. For your y-intercept, it's the same kind of idea. When you're on the y-axis, your x value is always 0. So plugging in 0 for your x value. Anything times 0 is just 0. So for your y-intercept, you're left with by equals c. And then you would divide by b. So y equals c over b. All right, so let's put this into action with the two equations we're given. We have 2x minus y equals -4. So I'm going to write that out. 2x minus y equals -4. So to find my x-intercept, I'm going to make y 0. So 2x minus 0 equals -4. So in this case, y goes away again. So 2x equals -4. Divide by 2. X equals -2. So this tells me on my x-axis, I'm going to have a point at -2. All right, let's look at the y value for this equation. Plug in 0 for x to find our y-intercept. So I'll have 2 times 0 minus y equals -4. Well, 2 times 0 is 0, so I'll just have -y equals -4. That -y is actually a -1y. So to get y by itself, I need to divide by -1. In this case, y equals 4. So on my y-axis, I'm going to have a y-intercept at 4. So I'm going to go to my graph now and plot these 2 points. X is -2 and y is 4. Now that I have these 2 points, I can graph. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the second equation, and I want you to try to figure out what our x and y intercepts would be this time. So let's set it up. X minus 2y equals 4. I want you to try to find the x and y intercepts, remembering to plug in 0 for the value you're not trying to find. So I'll give you a second to do that. Okay, so to find your x-intercept, remember to make y 0. So x minus 2 times 0 equals 4. 2 times 0 is just 0, so you're left with x equals 4. Your y-intercept would be when x is 0. So that would be 0 minus 2y equals 4. 0 goes away, so you just have -2y equals 4. Divide by -2. Y equals -2. So I can plot these 2 points. X is 4, y is -2, and look at where they're going to intersect. And actually, I probably should have drawn this graph a little straighter, because if you see, they're going to intersect right down here at -4, -4. And so that would be, again, the solution to my system. Where these two lines intersect is my solution.